think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cat.
What's good, everybody? AB Media 83 here. And today we have to talk about the second, yes, count it, second assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Now, fortunately, this guy didn't get his shot off, and he's been apprehended. But yeah, somebody tried to assassinate Trump again yesterday, if you haven't heard. And we live in interesting times. This is most certainly unacceptable, and something needs to be done about this. I don't know if they're going to have to beef up security or what, but I think something needs to be done about this. We can't be having multiple assassination attempts on our presidents every year. I mean, within 2 months, there have been multiple assassination attempts on Donald Trump's life. And media, ironically, has came out and said that Trump needs to tone down his rhetoric. My argument is, how about the media turn down theirs? I mean, perhaps the media should turn down their rhetoric. Calling Trump a dictator, comparing him to the German man, that ruled Germany between the years of 1933 to 1945. Lying on him about Project 2025 when he's already denounced the plan. Something to think about. Something to think about. But they came for Trump's life again. And I guess this is just the times we live in. But let's have a little fun here. We are going to be taking a look at. Hold on, let me see if I can. We're going to be taking a look at a little interview between Dana Bash and JD Vance. And we have our guest. What's going on, Snowman?
How are you, my friend?
Just fine.
They tried for him again.
Yep.
They tried for
And I saw my Colts lost yesterday.
Yeah, that was the first question Jody asked me when she was on her way back.
But on the other hand, we didn't get whooped like the Cowboys. Oops, did I say that out loud?
I don't give 2/5 of a half of a fuck about the Cowboys. Every time they lose, I'm going to be laughing louder than Stephen A.
You know, they got whipped by the Saints.
They got demolished. They got demobilized. They got, how did my grandson put it? Humiliated.
But we're gonna have a little fun here.
Let's do it.
This is Dana Bash, of course, and you know, she's
I just love your candor. This is Dana Bash, of course. I love that.
and she's the half of that interviewed Kamala Harris. Gave Kamala Harris that softball interview. But now,
This is the heifer who did that.
yes.
Oh Jesus, let's do it.
But now, she's interviewing JD Vance about this Springfield, Ohio situation with the migrants. Oh, how can I put this? With the migrants
Invasion.
doing stuff like this.
People that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating.
Where'd you find those?
TikTok.
Good answer.
Well, let's get into this.
Let's do it.
Now is Republican Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance, who represents Ohio in the U.S. Senate. Thank you for being here, sir. So the mayor of Springfield, Ohio, Rob Rue, said, quote, all these federal politicians that have negatively spun our city, they need to know they're hurting our city. And it was their words that did it. Before Donald Trump talked about eating dogs and cats on a debate stage, it was you, Senator, who first elevated this baseless rumor. These are your constituents. So why are you putting them at risk by continuing to spread claims about Haitian immigrants, despite officials in your state saying that there's no evidence and pleading for you to stop?
Now, before we continue, actually, a couple of things. First and foremost, where is it?
Bring it on. Bring it on. I know you got something cooking. Bring it on.
Warning. If your vote blue, no matter who, your butt is about to hurt. Nobody's going to kiss the Democrat Party's ass for you. If you don't like it, well, you can always go kick rocks.
I was going to ask if I can say that last part.
Kick rocks, yeah.
You can always, as you would say, like earlier this summer, you can always go kick rocks.
Yeah. But I just need to remind people of something.
Uh-oh.
JD Vance is actually 2 years younger than me.
And
Translation. He's from my generation.
And he bit the hell out of this heifer. As BGS eloquently pointed out. He bit the hell out of her.
Yeah, he's from my generation, and well, whom I can roll it.
Well, Dana, first of all, what's putting the residents of Springfield at risk, which was a town completely ignored by the
Look at her face.
American media until Donald Trump and I started surfacing some of these concerns, is that they can't afford housing, they can't afford health care. The schools.
Yes. Housing and health care is out of control.
Been overwhelmed. The hospitals have been overwhelmed, and they're overwhelmed because Kamala Harris allowed 20,000 Haitian migrants to get dropped into a small Ohio town of about 40,000 people. And
emotional damage. Excellent.
Now let's talk about this for a minute.
Please.
You have a town of 40 to 50,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
a town meant for 40 to 50,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Some knucklehead thought it was a bright idea to import 20,000 migrants, almost half
Where
the population of a town of already 50,000 people.
where is that word where is that word I'm looking for? I can't find it.
Now, I don't know about you, but to me, this is simple math.
Mm-hmm.
What did Master Teacher say about this kind of situation? What was that he said? I can't. What did he say? Oh, that's right. Now that is some bullshit.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Hmm.
You gotta do it right. And I have the button for it.
Hmm.
Now that is some bullshit.
That is some utter bullshit, especially when
That's some grade A homogenized Holstein back ass words bullshit.
you almost double the population with Haitian migrants, and you don't put the money to back it up. That is a recipe for disaster. On top of the fact that a lot of these Haitian migrants don't know how to drive, but you're giving them driver's license without having taken a driver's test. But
I'm sorry, I did that one loud. I did that one live. Or I did that one live.
yeah. Let's
I'm
continue.
sorry.
It's completely overwhelmed the services. Now, you ask, why have I talked about some of the things that I've been talking about? Let me just say this. My constituents have brought approximately a dozen separate concerns to me. 10 of them are verifiable and confirmable, and a couple of them I talk about because my constituents are telling me firsthand that they're seeing these things. So I have two options, Dana. I could ignore them, which is what
Yes, you heard him correctly. His constituents are telling him about these things.
And they're confirming it. In other words,
Tiger uppercut.
And I'm like, BGS, this dude's a killer. I will not be surprised if he's your president after Donald Trump or whoever gets in the White House.
yep.
the American media has done for years to this community, or I can actually talk about what people are telling me. And of course, many of the things that the media says are completely baseless have since been confirmed. For example, I was told, Dana, that by the American media, that it was baseless that migrants were capturing the geese from the local park pond and eating them. And yet there are 911.
Just look at her face.
Wait. I got a sound for that.
Mm-hmm.
I got a sound for that. And it is
before this ever became a viral sensation of people complaining about that exact thing happening. So my attitude is listen to my constituents. Sometimes they're going to say things that people don't like, but they're saying things that people don't like because their town has been overwhelmed, and it's my job to try to fight for them and to protect them. Kamala Harris opened the border, and now these people are suffering. That's what.
Just look at the body. Just look at the body. Look at her body language.
You said that in BGS's stream earlier tonight.
What I'm focused on.
And you know what that body language tell me? She knows she knows he's right, and she knows she's wrong, but you know.
Dana.
Mm-hmm.
Senator, I have to go through several things that you just said. First of all, the Clark County Sheriff and the Ohio Department of Natural Resources reviewed 11 months of 911 calls. They only identified 2 instances of people alleging Haitians were taking geese out of parks. They found 0 evidence to substantiate those claims. Also, other evidence that you have talked about, even you've retweeted.
Well, who's going to sit there and video camera? Who's going to sit there has enough time to video camera Haitians literally taking Geese
Yep.
out of the park.
Yep. Who's going to make time to do that is the operative question.
Yeah, especially in a small town, they probably got too much to do.
Mm-hmm.
They probably focused on surviving.
Alleged evidence are unsourced social media videos from a different city, apparently no connection to Haitians. And this is from a conservative activist who offered a $5,000 reward for such things. And then going just backly to the schools and the hospitals and so forth being overwhelmed. Nobody is disputing that the town of Springfield, Ohio needs help. But you're not just a bystander, you're the senator from Ohio. So instead of saying things that are wrong and actually causing the hospitals, the schools, the government buildings to be evacuated because of bomb threats, because
Pause that a minute.
Yep.
Look at the look on his face. His fangs are getting ready to come out.
Oh yes.
He is so ready.
Well, not only that, why is it his or Trump's responsibility that a knucklehead did a bomb threat to 2 middle schools, if I'm not mistaken?
Kevin.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
How were they supposed to know that was going to happen?
I can't play
Cats
the
and
button
dogs.
I want to play, but I can't play the
thing.
button I want to
Why
play.
not actually be constructive in helping to better integrate them into the community? Because there are a lot of employers there who say that the Haitian workers are helping fill jobs that they need desperately filled.
You know what that translation? Helping fill jobs that I don't want to pay people for, but they'll do it
For basically free. That's why I pressed the button I did.
Mm-hmm.
Dana, first of all, let me just respond to a couple things that you said, but I want to start with something you said, which I think is frankly disgusting and is more appropriate for a Democratic propagandist than it is for an American journalist. There is nothing that I have said that has led to threats against these hospitals. These hospitals, the bomb threats and so forth, it's disgusting. The violence is disgusting. We condemn it. We condemn
Say, damn, I can't get him.
all violence.
Senator, this
threats of
happened
violence.
after you and
But to
President
say-
Trump
no, no,
were
Dana,
on the
to
debate
say-
stage, said that
Dana,
cats and dogs.
I can tell you that was a story long before it became a story.
That's for you.
I was watching videos of people in town halls complaining about this stuff.
Yep.
Anybody telling you that these stories are false don't know what they're talking about. And of course, the politicians in that area is going to lie because it's embarrassing.
And it's their state. I used to live in Yellow Springs, Ohio for a time. And it's the same. How did George Carlin put it? Same shit, different day. Only now it's gotten worse.
You asked a question, Dana, and I'm going to go ahead and answer it. What we have said is that this town has suffered terribly under the policies of Kamala Harris. Now, you just accused me of inciting violence against the community when all that I've done is surface the complaints of my constituents, people who are suffering because of Kamala Harris's policies. Are we not allowed to talk about these problems because some psychopaths are threatening violence? We can condemn the violence on the one hand, but also talk about the terrible consequences of Kamala Harris's open border on the other hand. Now, let me just fact check a couple of other things that you said, Dana, because it's important. You said that all of these migrants are in the country legally. They're in the country through what's called temporary protective status.
Right.
That is when Kamala Harris waved a magic amnesty wand, taking people and giving them legal status. That is not to say that they're here legally. That is a terrible indictment of her amnesty policies that have further opened the border and further caused terrible migration into this country.
You might not agree with the policy, and obviously you don't, which is totally fair and legitimate. There are policy disagreements all the time, but the fact is it is the law because President Biden and Vice President Harris are. But I don't want to frankly go down this conversation about
No,
policy
Dana,
because
you made a point. You don't. I agree. You don't want to talk about policy.
No,
Dana,
what I
which is
want to
why
talk
you're talking about.
What happened was.
Don't.
Keep going.
What I want to talk about
instead of about the fact
Senator,
that
it was
Kamala Harris,
your
Dana,
distraction.
granted amnesty.
You were the
at
one
a
who
mass
started
level. She
talking about
granted
eating
amnesty
dogs
at a
and
mass
cats.
level.
You were the one who
Dana,
brought this
my
up. The
constituents
president
were the
said
ones
it to
who talked about
60
eating
million
dog and
people.
cats, and I talked about it because you were ignoring this community.
Ooh.
My constituents talked about
Have
it.
you
And
been
it is
to
my
Springfield?
responsibility to surface their concerns when the American media
Have you been to
ignores it.
Springfield?
Dana, I've been to Springfield probably.
Really?
Oh, you can.
Really? You stop and think about what she's asking.
Oh yeah,
Asking the senator
Senator
from
from Ohio.
Ohio, has
If
he
he's
been
ever been to
Springfield?
Springfield. Let that sink in, folks. She is asking a senator from Ohio, and I've met a couple of them,
Mm-hmm.
if he's ever been to Springfield.
Goodbye, baby. Get the fuck out of here.
Better question.
How do you fuck that up? How do you fuck that up?
I'm sorry, I
Probably
had to.
100 times in my life.
How about
I've taken my
recently,
children
since
to
you've
get
heard
ice
this?
cream at Young's Jersey Dairy.
Have you heard?
Oof! And I know where that is.
Really?
I know where that is. I used to live in Ohio. I know where that is.
Goodbye, baby.
Is it as good as he's talking about?
Mm-hmm. Addictive.
Recently,
Very,
since you've
Have I
gotten
been in
these
the last?
calls?
Have I been in the last 4 days?
No,
No,
I'm
I haven't
talking
been in
about
the last 4 days, but I've
since
talked
you've
to a
got.
lot.
Duh. He's running for vice president. I mean, I could cut him some slack there. He's running for vice president. Of course, he probably hasn't been there in the last few days. On top of the fact,
What the fuck is that?
on top of the fact, Ohio's pretty much red state anyway. So
Yep.
A lot
Gotten
of
these
people in
calls from the
Springfield, Dana,
constituents.
and they're telling me this stuff is happening. Dana, would you like to ask me questions and then let me answer them, or would you like to debate me on these topics? I noticed that when you
Ooh. Ooh.
she's trying to keep her composure.
Try again. Ooh.
had Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, you gave them multiple choice answers to the questions that you asked, and you allowed them to answer the questions. I'm happy to be here to talk about policy, but if you're going to interrupt me every single time that I open my mouth, then why am I even doing this? So please ask the question, and I'd ask you to be polite enough to let me answer it.
Yes, I am, and I think that.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Kamala Harris and Tim Walz
No, you're
were
not.
making unsubstantiated claims
Oh, I
that had
shouldn't have
racist
posted that. I'm
undertones
sorry.
about people eating dogs and cats. And they didn't answer the questions about that. Then I would have
Yes, he did.
similar interactions with
did.
them. As you know, I am very grateful that you come on the show, as I am for other Republicans. But this is something that you're hearing from constituents. I did a lot of reporting. I talked to people in Ohio over the weekend, and they're really worried about these claims. The policies, yes, I am agreeing with you that what I heard is that there is concern that these migrants, there's a lot of them, and the integration isn't being done fast enough and well enough. And that's a totally legitimate conversation. But there are other conversations that are happening. Aiden Clark, who is an 11-year-old boy who was killed in Springfield last year. It was a car accident involving a Haitian immigrant. You said that he was murdered. His father said that's not true. It was an accident. Here's what he said to you.
Politicians, Bernie Moreno, Chip Roy, J.D. Vance, and Donald Trump. They have spoken my son's name and used his death for political gain. This needs to stop now. They are not allowed, nor have they ever been allowed to mention Aiden Clark from Springfield, Ohio. I will listen to them one more time to hear their apologies.
Senator, he's asking for you to apologize. Will you?
Dana, first of all, my heart goes out to the Clark family, and I don't bring their son's name up because they've clearly expressed a preference for politicians to not bring their son's name up. I wish them all the best. I can't believe what kind of a tragedy they've experienced, but I'm still going to keep on talking about what the migrants have done to Springfield, Ohio, and what Kamala Harris's open border has done to Springfield, Ohio. And Dana, I think this illustrates the entire contrast between how we're trying to go about this debate and how a lot of the Democrats are trying to go about this debate. They're talking about 12 Proud Boys marching in Springfield, Ohio. They're talking about the frankly fake debunkings of a lot of these stories that are out there. I'm talking to my constituents and I'm hearing terrible things about what's going on in Springfield, and Kamala Harris's open border policies have caused these problems. The hospitals are overwhelmed, Dana. The schools are overwhelmed. The local services are completely overwhelmed. You have people who can't afford housing. Homelessness has gone up. Murders are up by 81% because of what Kamala Harris has allowed to happen to this small community. I'm going to keep on talking about that. Now, of course, we can criticize violence. We can also still talk about the problems that are happening in Springfield, and we should be able to do both those things simultaneously, Dana.
Just once and for all, you
Oh boy.
again started this in part by saying that, at which Donald Trump repeated on the debate stage, that, and he didn't say anything about the policies that you're talking about. He just said Haitians are eating dogs and cats. Can you affirmatively say now that that is a rumor that has no base?
That's her lone talking point.
Pretty much, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Dana, the evidence is the
first-hand
first-hand account of my constituents who are telling me that this happened. And by the way, I've been trying to talk about the problems in Springfield for months, and the American media ignored it. There was a congressional hearing just last week.
Can you play that part again, please?
Children because Kamala
that truth he just
Harris
spoke.
Is a rumor that has no basis with evidence.
Dana, the evidence is the first-hand account of my constituents who are telling me that this happened. And by the way, I've been trying to talk about the problems in Springfield for months, and the American media ignored it. There was a congressional hearing just last week of angel moms who lost children because Kamala Harris let criminal migrants into this country who then murdered their children. The American media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to,
but it wasn't just a meme,
create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana, because you guys.
By the way, like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, support the show, hit the Super Chat, support the show.
Are completely letting
all
Kamala
taxes
Harris
are in effect.
Post. You had one interview with her. You talk about pushing back against me, Dana. You didn't push back against the fact that she cast the deciding vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which is why a lot of Americans can't afford food and housing.
You just said that you're creating
public policy.
Sorry, you just said that you're creating the story.
What's that, Dan? Vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which is why a lot of Americans can't afford food and housing.
You just said that you're creating
a
story.
Public policy.
Yeah, that's
she can't help herself.
Yeah. This has become a big thing in the news. J.D. Vance said he's creating the story. Did you go through the whole context?
May I say something quite obvious?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll put it in the form of a question. Doesn't this heifer sound like a lot of black women we know?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
See.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, you just said that you're creating the story.
What's that, Dana?
You just said that this is a story that you created. So the eating dogs and cats thing is not.
We are
accurate.
creating. Dana. It comes from firsthand accounts from my constituents. I say that we're creating a story, meaning we're creating the American media focusing on it. I didn't create 20,000 illegal migrants coming into Springfield thanks to Kamala Harris's policies. Her policies did that, but yes, we created the actual focus that allowed the American media to talk about this story and the suffering caused by Kamala Harris's policies.
Do you condemn the Proud Boys, even if
And
it's just
we
12,
say
even if it's just
score.
one marching in Springfield?
Dana, I condemn all white supremacists. I'm obviously not, I'm married to a non-white person. I don't like these people, but I think that we have to keep our focus, not on 12 marchers going down the street, but on the fact that thousands of residents have had their lives destroyed by Kamala Harris's policy. I find this very unusual, Dana. The American media is more interested in a bunch of losers marching down the street than they are in the fact that Kamala Harris has made these people's lives worse. I'm not talking about 12 Proud Boys. I'm talking about 40,000 residents, 40,000 constituents of mine, many of whom can't afford housing and food because of Kamala Harris's open border. That is what I want to focus the media's attention on. We're going to keep on doing it because I think the American people deserve a government that puts their interests first. Can I make just one more final point about this, Dana?
Yes, please.
You've heard a lot of the media focusing on every possible distraction from the story in Springfield. You've heard them focus on these Proud Boys marches. You've heard just in this interview, Dana, the suggestion that because some psychopath is calling in a bomb threat, somehow we have to then ignore 40,000 Springfieldians who are having their lives.
Oh, that is what you suggested.
That's exactly what she suggested.
Worsened by Kamala Harris's policies. Well, what is the implication, Dana? I actually love to have this conversation right now, live on air.
Right.
What is the implication when you say you calling out these problems has caused a bomb threat? You accused me of causing a bomb threat. Doesn't that mean you should shut up about the residents of Springfield? Don't you realize that you're engaged?
Wait, he said, bring it on.
I told you, he's from my generation.
He didn't say, let's talk about this another time. He looked her in the eye and said, bring it on.
Mm-hmm. Put up or shut up.
Put up or shut up. Which is what I love telling people today. People that, well, that's another discussion. Go on.
Yeah, the interview's almost over, thankfully.
Yes.
Silence the concerns of American citizens.
I was quoting.
I wait.
Well, what had happened was
Springfield, Ohio, begging after the bomb threats, begging federal officials, to please stop putting negative attention on his city. And I'm not talking about the policies. I'm not talking about the very real challenges that Springfield has. I'm talking about baseless rumors about Haitians eating dogs and cats. And that after that was
Stop.
Mm-hmm.
This is her lone talking point. This is her lone talking point. I mean, this is her lone talking point.
Her lone talking point is
they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eat the cat. 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 Eat the cat.
That just sounds so wrong in so many ways, but it's funnier than shit.
On a debate stage, that is when these bomb threats started. And that is a fact. Senator, I just want to move on. I have two other quick issues separate from this that I want to talk to you about.
Dana,
go ahead.
Again,
please go ahead.
I think this is actually an important conversation.
Okay.
Look, the Springfield mayor, he's dealing with a lot of terrible things. I certainly sympathize with the guy, and we're going to try to help him out. But he did not accuse me of inciting a bomb threat. He just didn't. And if we're going to take the firsthand accounts of people who are on the ground in Springfield, why don't you bring on some of the people on your program who say that the migrants are eating their pets? You're
Face it to
applying
left.
a double standard here. You're saying if one person accuses JD Vance, I'm going to take that person's
have
word
somebody
as the
who's
gospel truth,
you have somebody
even if
whose
you
name
misrepresent it. If you have another person who's saying they're eating the cats, you're going to completely ignore them, attack them, silence them, and harass them. That double standard is why the people don't trust the media and why we're not talking about public policy 51 days out from a presidential election.
Okay, if you have somebody you want to tell us about who has proof that somebody ate their cat, of course we want to hear that.
Come on.
Certainly have had no evidence that that is actually something that happened. And I just want to say, I have not.
Her leaning on this
accused
argument
you
is
of
like a
anything. I am
Cowboy fan
quoting
leaning on
the mayor
Super
who
Bowl
said,
30.
After these bomb threats, federal politicians are negatively spinning our city. They need to know they are hurting our city. It was their words that did it. Okay, that I'm quoting him, and it seems to be a cause and effect.
Roll
They
You just
but see,
accused me of inciting a bomb threat. There's no evidence of this. I condemn violence and threats of violence. We should be able to do that and also still talk about what's
okay. That's enough of that.
Thank God the interview's over, because she did nothing to enhance. She did nothing. She got ate the fuck up.
Yes, she did.
She got ate the fuck up. Talking about fantasy football, I didn't even make any moves. Well, I take that back. I made one, and Bay got me to trade him CD Lamb for DK Metcalf, and DK Metcalf burned him.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
now let's have a little
about the supposed interview we just saw, and I use the word supposed in capital letters. I believe
wherever you are, you're not properly connected. Devices are not connected.
Huh?
Somebody pull up in the back chat. Let's talk about this heifer for a minute.
Oh God, what the hell did you put in front of me?
This is Angela Rye.
Who?
Angela Rye.
What?
This is Angela Rye with lettuce and tomato on the side.
God damn it! You can't make this shit up.
And a bonus question. BGS.
What is gay?
Oh, last night during Patreon on who are you?
Yo, what's up, bro? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man?
Yeah, I saw that CD Lamb move that you did with Bay, man. I figured that you was gonna do that because I knew New Orleans was gonna tear a new a-hole on them boys.
I predicted on my show on Friday that New Orleans was gonna tear their ass up. I predicted, and not to get into it heavy because of the face that was on the screen. That's, thank God, no longer there. I knew it from jump. That's one reason why I made the move. Fuck CD Lamb. He ain't worth it. Now, AB Media, let's move on, please.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to talk
I know
about
you got
this.
to do. What did this? Wait, I retract my question.
I would show the Breakfast Club interview where she's acting a fool, but unfortunately, the Breakfast Club is notorious for freezing people's streams when you play their stuff.
Who was that lady you just put up there? Who was what does she do?
Angela Rye. She's a political pundit, pretty much, and she did an interview.
She looks like J.R. Smith without the tattoos.
Her and Charlemagne the Fraud did an interview with Jill Stein and her running mate. And,
Jill Stein?
Yes, the Green Party candidate. And to Jill Stein's credit, she wiped the floor with her.
Good.
And by the end of the interview, this is the look she had on her face.
Yeah, she definitely looks like she got that look, you know, when the dog look at you and something crazy happen, like what?
What are you blaming me? The same look that my dog Lucy gives me on occasion. What are you blaming me for this time?
That's that look when they see them Haitians coming too. They be like, oh,
Man,
that was a good one.
you ain't got no sense, man. I mean, no lies to be found, but
I know what you mean, AB. That Breakfast Club, they love AI and they scrubbers, man. They good, man. But I don't know. I'd be scared to play too. I'll probably play that.
Here's another one. But
oh yeah, that arms crossed. That's like when they in the interrogation room when the detectives got you. Like, oh yeah, they got your arms crossed.
The detectives got you cold, and you cross your arms and in denial and look like that.
Here's the funny part.
Oh yeah,
I think she's looking at a dude when she's saying this. And fellas, we all know what that look is. I think she's looking at somebody. There's that look. You ain't getting no pussy tonight. You know that, right?
You know you just fucked up, right?
Listen, you know you just fucked yourself out of a good night. That's that look right there.
I didn't mean to press that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
The rolling pig.
Yes, you did.
Apparently somebody else asked him to pull up.
Whole hog smoking.
Oh, I almost forgot. I'm glad I did put that picture up now because I almost forgot. This episode of Colosseum Special is brought to you by Sweet Sassy Rolling Vote Blue Sauce. Now with extra sassy blue juice.
That's
with extra sass.
That's the extra sass in your grocer's aisle today. And available for a limited time only. Oh dear God, what's wrong with me?
Also,
I've been dealing with advertising entirely too long. If I can make up shit on the fly like that.
Yeah. Also brought to you by Word Salad.
The salad of the Democrat. The salad of Vote Blue.
Now served with Hidden Valley Ranch. I couldn't help it. I had to do it.
Do it again. Do it again. I'll do the ad. You just put the pictures up. Do it again.
This program's been brought to you by
Sweet Sassy Rolling Vote Blue Sauce. Now with extra sassy blue juice in your grocer's aisle for a limited time.
Half off for promoting Gold Blue.
Also, half off on the whole coon pig.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the coon pig. What is the coon pig, you ask? Look at the face on top of it.
Oh, side note, just for the record, no versions of Roland Martin were harmed during the filming.
During the filming of this, absolutely.
No real Roland Martins were harmed.
No railroading of Roland Martin.
Well, his ego may be hurt, but I don't give a shit. But anyway,
who cares?
This program is also brought to you by
Word Salad, the best salad for Vote Blue, with all the words necessary and covered by Hidden Valley Ranch, the original ranch of Word Salad and Vote Blue. Get your supply today. Limited time offer. If you buy Word Salad in bulk, then your vote from Vote Blue will actually count.
Yeah, that one y'all was playing though with Dana Bash going with JD. I found it highly suspect how she keeps asking him these
the question. Yep.
Yeah, it's like, he's into politics. He's taking questions. He's taking complaints from actual constituents that are sending him, I'm sure, videos and actual evidence. Why is she not? Well, we haven't heard of that at all. So you're in you're in journalism. You haven't heard it once. It's all over Instagram. You haven't talked to any of these people that's in his constituency. You'll just rather just say, well, we never heard of that. And
That's
it's like,
easy. She doesn't want. That's easy. She doesn't want to hear it.
yeah, but
Just say it plain.
Shouldn't that count against her being a real journalist? Because if you're a real journalist, I'm sure you had some notes to go on this. You didn't think about
a real well, if you look at her face, look at her face and the way JD Vance ate her up like a pig, she wasn't a real journalist in the first place.
I totally agree with that for sure.
Think about it. Think of what did we talk about earlier? AB the body language. Look at the body language. Because if she was a real journalist, she wouldn't let that affect her in the first place, part one. And part two, she would have more notes of more things to talk about with an actual senator from the state of Ohio. Yes, stupid cunt.
Yeah, this just has to be seen to be believed.
Dear God in heaven.
The dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there.
People of Springfield, please don't eat my cats. Why would you do that? Eat something else.
Quit it. Quit it.
Man, that song.
Quit it.
That song is classic, dog.
Quit it.
Actually, I have to shout out Andre for that song because he played it for us yesterday on BGS's Patreon stream. I was cracking up.
What does my wife often say jokingly? Quit that shit.
Yeah, I heard it yesterday. Andre had it, man. He had said it over there on Cuda stream, and I watched it and said, man, this has got to be the crazy. No, it was on Kel. Man, that shit was so crazy, dog. I said they actually made it.
That is nuts.
It sounds better than some of this drill music they put out. Crazy.
I agree with that. It sounds better than the real music that's out there now.
Yeah, I'm on the motorcycle too. Damn.
Mm-hmm. Yep, armed with guns.
Yeah, I don't know, that AI, man, that they use for that is awesome.
Whoever programmed that via AI is fucking brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
They are fucking brilliant. Oh,
Cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country.
That's just wrong.
Don't put the doggies in the pot.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs.
Oh,
they're eating the cats.
Yep.
They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
Oh,
they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat.
He's probably just gonna be
They're eating the dogs.
I guarantee you, he's gonna be elected just because of the memes on TikTok. I'm telling you,
the cats. Eat the cat.
They're gonna make way too much money on this. They're gonna.
Y'all go.
They're eating the.
Go out. You sniff him. Yes. Go out.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the. They're eating the dogs.
Yo, hold on, wait a minute. Some of the they have the. Let me see if I can find some of these cat ones. These cat ones are hilarious.
They're eating the dogs. People that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Dog attack.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
He's like, I'm out.
They're eating the dogs.
These are hilarious, man.
They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
That media manager,
They're
he's
eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. They're eating the dogs. They're eating.
Oh yeah,
They're eating the dogs. The people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating. They're eating. They're eating the dog. They're eating the dogs. The people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating.
just look at the cat.
They're eating the pets. They're eating the dogs. The people that
Chad
came in.
looking like,
They're
oh
eating-
shit.
Hey, you know what they need to do? They need to get that one with the cat that put that Batman hat on, like that Batman mask. Like soon as
They're
they say that
eating
eating the
dogs.
cat,
The
they
people
put
that
that
came in,
Batman cat
they're
out
eating
there.
the cats. They're eating in Springfield. They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're
Like-
eating.
That
They're
look.
eating
Yeah,
the pets.
the look they
That
get on
people
the
that
look, so
live
they're
there.
like, huh? Wait a minute.
What?
I'm on the menu. Wait a minute.
That look.
Don't put the doggy in.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Eat the cat. Eat the cat. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I got something cool to show y'all that my wife got for me.
They're eating the dogs. The people that came in, they're eating the cats. They're eating.
You guys see it?
Sure.
Is that MJ?
It is.
Was that Upper Deck? Is that Tops?
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
My
that's
bad.
dope, bro.
Wrong one. Sorry.
Yep. Wife found this for me and she said you can she's found so many cars like this for me to put in my new office.
Nice.
Man, that's a nice card, man. I bet you that's rare as hell, too.
It is, man. 1994 this was taken.
That's dope, bro.
Oh, some interesting news for tomorrow.
What, Kirk Two
um,
Chainz Cousins winning a football game in prime time? Oh, did I say that?
No, believe it or not, the NABJ, National,
National
National Black
Association of Blowjobs.
yeah, pretty much, are going to be interviewing Kamala Harris tomorrow.
What the fuck?
Finally.
It took them
Yeah.
long enough.
And this was sent to me by BGS.
They're actually going to interview Kamala Harris.
Will Roland Martin be in attendance?
My
Most
guess is
likely.
yes. My guess is yes.
If I'm not
Is it-
mistaken, he was in attendance when Trump was there.
Is it going to be in Chicago again or what?
It's going to be in Philadelphia.
Okay, yeah, they got to stock up that Pennsylvania vote. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, interesting. They're going to have male panel. Oh, they have a couple of male panelists apparently.
Why?
Male journalists?
Yeah, and a chick. Let's see. Tanya. Tanya Mosley.
Where is this going to
Eugene Daniels and Green Gaylor, I guess, from the Grill.
What?
Yeah, I never heard of him either.
Who's this? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that aloud.
Why don't they bring out like Gail King or somebody? I mean, Gail.
Because it would be too obvious.
Well, not only that,
Because it would be too obvious.
you know, Gail's a bore. Gail is boring, man. You know, I feel like I'm gonna fall asleep every time. I must be getting old. I feel like I fall asleep every time Gail try to do an interview.
Unless she's doing it with R. Kelly.
Oh well.
Oh
Robert?
God.
Robert.
And you mean and that can be meant in a couple of ways.
Robert?
Yeah, I just remember. That's all I remember about the interview. Robert.
As I said,
Robert.
that could be meant in a couple of ways.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I just think that they could definitely get some brother journalists to get in there, man. I mean, I guess if they are bringing some brothers up there, that's a good move. They should have did it at first. I don't see why they didn't have one up there.
Which AB found something.
It's happened.
What's that?
What you got?
They arrested Puff Daddy.
Oh no!
Good.
Is it local arrest or federal arrest?
I would imagine federal.
That is not good for P. Diddy.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me see. He was arrested on a grand jury indictment. Let's see. Yeah, he got arrested in Manhattan. And also unfortunately, I have some sad news that I learned about yesterday right before I went to bed.
What's that?
Tito's gone, man. Tito Jackson. He's gone.
Oh yeah, brother Tito. Yeah, I heard about that yesterday, man. That was crazy, man. We just lost 3, man. Tito, James Earl Jones, and Frankie Beverly.
Frankie Beverly in the same month.
Yeah, man, that's crazy, dog.
In the same month.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that right before I went to bed. I'm like, not Tito.
Yeah, Frankie, man, was still doing concerts, man. I look forward to it every year. They would do a concert here in Houston, and it would be packed, man. They bring out all the funk, old school soul brothers, man. And those brothers still get up on stage, man, and perform, and it's enjoyable. You know what I mean? And that says a lot for the longevity of those artists, man. It does.
When music was music. You understand me? When music was actually music and not this shit that they put out now.
Well, they actually talked about love and, happiness. Shout out to Al Green, right?
Now for my next clip, have you ever wondered what Trump derangement syndrome actually looked like in real time?
I wondered what
Trump derangement syndrome looks like in real time.
Oh yeah, I lived with him. I'm sorry. I lived with him. She's called my sister. No, you're not.
That is, believe it or not.
And you know what?
That is, believe it or not, that is.
Was Haitians in a white?
Oh, sorry. That is Tim Wall. That was Tim Walz's wife.
And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her.
Yes. I couldn't believe it either. That video is actually real.
Why would he do that? What was the whole reasoning of that? Because I thought it was an AI deal at first, but they was like, nah, it's real. And I'm like, why would he do that? I mean, I don't understand the process behind it.
He's an old man. He don't care.
He's lived his life.
Yeah.
He's lived his life.
Even if I'm looking at his apartment, come on, he's 80 plus years old, man. Leave him alone.
I'll be goddamn.
You want to know what scares me? Because I've been screaming he's been a dementia patient for years, but you want to know the scary part?
Mm-hmm.
He probably still more qualified than Kamala Harris is right now.
Duh. He stepped out because she was being a snake in the grass.
There was Haitians in.
And you know.
Can you affirmatively?
Yeah, we were.
So I found all the black men voting for Trump. They're on Facebook. Same talking points.
Oh, this
same
is just having
insults.
fun.
Ask them if they read Project 2025 or Agenda 47. Response is, I don't read that shit. So where do you get your information and research? Just watching TV. Okay. So what do you like about him? What has he done for you? He gave us that check when he was in office. The stimulus check? Yes. Well, Congress got that for you, not him. But because he knows you so well, he delayed it so that he could sign it, so that you would turn around and say that he gave you money, when in essence he didn't. He didn't even want to. Just saying. And why won't you vote for Kamala? Because she's not smart, and the only way she got to where she is because she did it on her
Because
knees.
she's stupid.
And she's married to a white man. And you wonder why. Because you're such a prize. Talking the smooth talking that you're doing right now. And what I realized that MAGA and these black men had in common is that one, they don't read. And two, they're angry. And they need somebody to blame. And they
Oh, we
blame
don't
us
read, huh?
because they can't look in the mirror and blame themselves for the situations that have happened to them. Blame
Give
us
me
for
this
their
book.
own laziness. Somehow, it's somehow our fault that they aren't where they should be, don't have what they should have.
Give me this button.
You know what's crazy about that? Now remember, if we go back, because most of these people, they think your memory is so short. If you really paid attention, what Trump was saying was, hey, I'm actually, since we got this deal going, I remember he was like, well, we're going to do 3,500, closer to 4,000 on this stimulus. And they denied that. And then if you remember, they actually decreased the amount of the stimulus payment when they signed it. Trump was actually going for a higher amount. Now, it did create more inflation, things of that nature for sure, but he actually was trying to give more, and they denied it. But, you'll never get that from their media because they're just liars.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Pretty much.
Flat out.
Yeah, they're a bunch of liars.
Yeah, and then they wanted to say, well, okay, well, because think about it. You send people home, right? You send people home. You tell them they can't come out their house. You say, well, we're going to give you this stimulus check. When the average rent, okay, is over $1,000. So even if you do give a person a stimulus check for $2,000, covering 2 months of their rent.
Mm-hmm.
So how you going to stay at home and lose your job? And then they do the unemployment thing where, okay, now we're going to pay people who already wasn't really working. And then we're going to give them, thousands and thousands of dollars. So when we do open it back up for people to go to work, why would they have any incentive to go to work if they can sit at home and make $4,000 cash and not go to work? I mean, come on now. I've seen people like, man, what am I going back to work for? Because they made more money on unemployment sitting at home than they ever made at the job that they did claim for the unemployment.
And here's the screwy part. I was denied all of that when I lived in North Carolina when the stimuluses came down.
Oh, yeah, I bet you were, because like I said, I filed for it. I didn't get it. But a lot of people that I knew that wasn't even working had been fired for reasons that they supposed to have been fired for. They were able to get it.
They were able to get it.
Yeah, and $4,000 a month. And did you think they saved any of that money? No.
Hell no. They ran through that like JD Vance ran through that heifer who was doing the interview.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm throwing all kinds of shade because my family, more to the point, my wife and I got screwed big time. Am I claiming race was a part of it? You goddamn right I am. Because we were living in rural North Carolina. Both of us were working, and then COVID happened. The stimulus came down, and then I got sick.
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to tell you the rest of that story?
Yeah, the money went to dealing with your sickness.
Yep. We were qualified, supposedly, to get some financial aid. Yeah. On the fly, those qualifications changed, and we never got the aid we were looking for. We wound up losing our house and wound up having to move back to Indiana. Why? Because I was not on my wife's insurance where she was working at the time. And she was working from home. She was working from home, and by the time I got diagnosed, the job was over. I couldn't go back to work. In many ways, I can't go back to work. And yet in 2 states, my wife and I got royally screwed.
Yeah, brother. I mean, I lost the house, man, during that time, and I actually was in the process of trying to buy the house. The guy who I was renting the house from, I was going to buy it from him. He wound up dying of COVID, rest his soul. But his son took over, and when his son took over, he would say, "Well, we're gonna sell it." BlackRock came and bought like the entire neighborhood, so they ran the prices up on the homes. So I had actually gotten a deal where I was going to do 80,000 cash on him and pay out the rest. He wanted 102. And I said, hey, man, why don't we just do this? Let's go ahead and do 80,000 cash, and then I'll go ahead and finance the rest of that 20,000 or whatever. It'll be a less, less risk to the bank and this and that. He said, oh, no, man, well, we don't want to do that because the bank don't want to take such a low loan. I said, well, brother, if I got 80,000 cash here.
Yes.
Why would the bank want to take that bigger risk for doing a whole 102,000 versus just doing 20,000 and we would recoup immediately 80 bands? They did not want to do that. And I was why?
Because you were giving them 80 grand in cash off the bat.
Now,
and they didn't want to do it. And they didn't want to do it. Now, what do we got here?
Oh, this is just a little fun. This is from Dorkley. He does a lot of video game animations. And see if you can catch the reference that's in this. It's hilarious to me. This one's hilarious to me. But let's see if you can catch the reference.
Okay.
First thing I'm going to do when he gets here is walk back and forth real methodical like, and then bam! That's when I'll walk into him. Maybe.
Nah, man, I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to walk in one direction and hope to God I get him.
I dare that fat plumber to jump on me. Oh, man, he will not know what hit him.
Oh, gosh.
Was that?
That could have been any flu tornado.
Wait
Guys,
for it.
I think that was Mario. No, it couldn't be. Open your eyes, man. That was Mario. He skipped our level.
But then what are we even doing here? Why did we build all these obstacles for him?
We awoke an angry sun for nothing.
That's fine. That's just fine. We don't need him. I was in World 2-1 back in the first Mario. He always took the warp pipe straight to World 4-1. Didn't need him then. Don't need him now.
Yeah, I didn't even want to.
Get the reference yet?
I'm trying.
I'm here. He probably would have just jumped over me anyways.
If I were running through this level, I'd kill all the guys in all the worlds. I wouldn't leave anyone alive.
You'd kill more guys than he ever could.
How come you don't want to kill us, man? Why won't anyone kill us?
What's wrong with that?
Y'all didn't get the reference?
I think I got it.
I'm lost, man. You gotta let me know. I'm lost.
I want to be sure that we're on this.
Is it a reference to Trump in any way?
No.
It's a reference to black women, isn't it?
No.
No? Okay, I was wrong.
It is reference to blackness, but I'll give you a hint. It's a reference to a show, a specific show clip.
I can't come up with it. Pumpkin, get down from there.
Man, you got me on this one, AB.
You got me too.
The most infamous Fresh Prince scene ever.
Aha.
Is that the one with his dad?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay, I got you. Like yeah, okay. With Ben Vereen and with Uncle Phil when Fresh Prince on that episode.
Yep. That's a reference to the last scene, and that scene almost made me cry.
Yeah, that was a crazy one, man. Because Uncle Phil, right, had been basically his surrogate father ever since he moved out there, right? But he still wanted a relationship with his pop, right?
Yeah.
That show. I know a lot of people.
I would play that scene, but I'd probably get copyright for that, so no.
Yeah, they'll definitely hit you for that. NBC is crazy on that one, but that show. As much as Will Smith has been in the press and has made some bad moves, I think that show did tell a lot. And it was kind of before its time, man. Especially with Carlton, right, being the the prep school boy, the conservative, the dorky dancer type of dude, not street dude at all. And then you had Fresh Prince in there where he was like the cool cat, you know what I'm saying? And then he didn't have his dad though, but Carlton always had his pops and his moms. They all was successful, you know what I'm saying? And I think the dichotomy of it all was actually a good over the time of the seasons of the show, minus a couple things when they changed out the mother and all of that, but I think, over time, now that I go back and look at it, it's way more positives than some of the shows that we have now. Way more.
Oh yeah. I don't even know what's on now, man. I don't watch TV. I haven't had cable in years. All my stuff is streaming.
Yeah, I typically I like the streaming thing because it's kind of like you choose what you want to watch. Whereas back in the days, you had the big NBC, you had the UPN, you had CBS, ABC, and Fox, where they pretty much were kind of feeding you what those shows were, and you had to catch the show. There was no DVR, was no TiVo. Internet streaming was very low, if any. So you would have to watch that. Now it's kind of like you can choose what you want to watch instead of being totally propagandized by what they have now. I cannot watch regular television. Those shows they have on there, I cannot watch it. I mean, even if I try to the game might go off, and I've seen this new show they're coming out with on Fox, which I am like, who came up with that? I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's called Universal Basic Guys, right? And it's like Universal Basic Income. It's a play on UBI. And then there's got these guys, they're like these fat guys, whatever, they got fired, they got laid off from their jobs, and now they're all on Universal Basic Income, and it's just like the I guess it would be like, the fat, stupid, guy trope. It's like they're just going all the way deep with it. And I'm like, man, is this the new Simpsons? I mean, the Simpsons was still more, entertaining to me on a funny blast than this stuff that they're coming out with now, man. I couldn't even watch it. It was like after, was it a Sunday night game or something? It was after a game. And I had to turn it off, man, because I'm like, man, this stuff is crap, man. Like who's watching this stuff?
Good question. Who knows? But man, yeah. I don't watch regular TV. Half the time I'm watching old Star Trek rewinds.
Yeah, I actually like some of the old Star Trek stuff, man. Next Generation is cool. Voyager, a lot of people don't like it, but I think Voyager was pretty cool.
Yeah, I need to go through Voyager. I haven't really I really haven't gone through Voyager yet, or Enterprise. Enterprise, the Enterprise series.
Yeah, Enterprise got a lot of bad press. I think Voyager was good because the way that they presented Tuvok, I think Tuvok was a great character arc on Tuvok. And then we got a chance to see a black man portray a black Vulcan.
Right.
And he actually, we actually got a chance to see him in there. And that was a good one. And of course, Deep Space Nine with Brother Cisco, that is classic.
Yeah, A.V. Brooks, yep. Yeah, I go back and watch that from time to time.
Yeah, I sometimes indulge myself in the old J. Michael Straczynski stuff, like Babylon 5. That's like one that I think that they wrote it absolutely wonderful. And then they didn't let the budget and a lot of what the studio was saying to kind of mess it up, because they were one of the guys that actually did a show where, and even in Star Trek, they had to change it up with Deep Space Nine because they were actually kind of stealing what Babylon 5 was doing. But they were one of the shows that actually created these arcs that lasted a whole year instead of doing that one-off show every week where it doesn't really connect to anything. Mm-hmm. Then you have the season finale. They start trying to connect stuff up. Whereas, you have Babylon 5 where it's like, we're going to do an arc. We're going to do a 5-season arc. We're going to show an entire political intrigue, a war. We're going to show the internal, the Civil War. And it was like, it kind of showed you how the internal machinations, actually with the politics and stuff like that. Yeah, now you don't see that.
Yeah, they had that whole Jim Madar arc was awesome.
Oh yeah, The Jemadar,
Dominion.
and then the Dominion War. That last Dominion War scene was like one of the best space battles still to this day that I've ever seen on film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
Even better than some of the Star Trek movies. Even better than some of those, you know. And shout out to the guys that did Deep Space Nine. And without Brother Cisco, I don't think it'd be able to. He was the best cast character in there, and him and Worf. When they brought Worf over, thought that was real good.
Yeah, I'll never forget that scene with Q. He punched Q in the mouth. Q was like, "Wait a minute, that's not right. Wait a minute." Like Picard never punched me. He's like, "I'm not Picard, you jackass."
Yeah, and that's what we needed, right? Because Picard was that. Oh, you know, let bygones be bygones, and you know we're the Federation. And Cisco was like, "Nah, man, you just gonna get punched in the mouth."
Picard had his moments, but you know, I'm still pissed at Picard for getting mad at Worf for killing Duras. Like that motherfucker deserved to die. What you reprimanding Worf for? But anyway, that's the geek coming out.
Duras needed to die, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that motherfucker needed to die. That motherfucker deserved to die. Killer was cute too. Shit.
Yeah, the Q guy, I think that character arc was crazy too, being the omnipotent being, and then he's constantly, you know, changing stuff up. You know, that was writing, man. You know, you actually had some people that was writing. Nowadays, the stuff is just, it seems like the writing is just, what can we do to DEI it up? You know, what can we change the male characters into female characters, and who can we make gay? That's kind of like what the writing has turned to nowadays with the sitcom or like any standalone show. It's just like they've Kathleen Kennedy and the other chick that did the what is it, the Acolyte. They have just destroyed that, man. They had such a great budget to be able to do something with, and I'm still holding my water on it because they're gonna do this Alien series next, and I just really hope that they don't mess it up. You know, for what Romulus did, I think that it was good. It's had some problems, but I think that if 20th Century Fox can do to do an actual show and make it right, I think it could actually help. But you know, the jury is still out on. I don't know how it's going to play out.
Yeah, I'm not going to play this clip, but I'll put it in the back check. You remember that? You remember the episode where Tasha Yar got killed? The black Bob, you know, the black blob.
Yep.
There's a cartoon show called Star Trek Lower Decks that Paramount released, and this takes place like a little bit after the Next Generation, and these kids find this device, and they actually, because you know how Picard left them on that planet by himself.
Yeah, I remember that.
These Lower Decks folks found this little device, and they actually call up Artemis and troll him. And it's the funniest shit ever. I'm not gonna play it on my channel, but it's funny if you want to see it in the back chat. And I'll put it in the.
I'm gonna check it out. I see it up there. Let me check it out right quick.
And I'll put it in the chat too. But that scene is hilarious. But anyway, y'all, I'm about ready to go to bed. So shut the stream down. So I'd like to thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace. Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.